What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to be looking at something absolutely insane. We're talking about the most daring, the most unbelievable, the most mind-blowing prison escapes ever attempted. These aren't just stories or legends, these are real-life events that seem ripped from a Hollywood blockbuster. The craziest part? Every single one of these escapes was caught on camera. We have the footage to prove it. Kicking off our list at number 10 is a story so audacious, it feels ripped from a Hollywood script. The legendary escape from Alcatraz in 1962. For decades, this federal penitentiary was the end of the line for America's most hardened criminals. The official word was simple: escape was impossible. This place wasn't just a prison, it was the Rock, an island fortress built to be the most secure penitentiary on Earth. Its primary defense wasn't just steel, but the unforgiving, ice-cold waters of the San Francisco Bay, with currents strong enough to pull a man under in minutes. But within its walls were three men who refused to believe it: Frank Morris and brothers John and Clarence Anglin. Morris was the mastermind, an inmate with a genius-level IQ. They were architects of the impossible. Their plan was a masterclass in patience. Using discarded materials, spoons stolen from the mess hall, a drill made from a broken vacuum cleaner motor, they began their work. For months, night after night, they painstakingly chipped away at their cells, hiding their progress with fake vent covers. To fool the guards during nightly checks, their solution was brilliant. They sculpted lifelike dummy heads using soap, toilet paper, and real hair from the barbershop. Tucked into their beds, these decoys were convincing enough to buy them precious time. On the night of June 11, 1962, they slipped through the holes, reached the shore, and pushed off on a raft stitched from over 50 raincoats. They vanished into the dark water, leaving behind a mystery that endures to this day. Coming in at number 9, we have an escape so audacious it almost feels fake. Joaquín El Chapo Guzmán, the infamous drug lord. This prison had cameras pointed directly at his cell, 24/7 surveillance. But under their feet, a massive construction project was happening. A mile-long, state-of-the-art tunnel, over 30 feet deep, ventilated, lit, complete with a custom motorcycle on rails to speed the journey. On July 11, 2015, surveillance shows him walk to the shower, kneel, and then vanish. The floor cut away into a shaft. He emerged at a construction site a mile away and walked free. An international embarrassment and proof that no prison was inescapable. The footage is chilling, a man vanishing from a monitored cell. At number 8, we have a story less about cleverness and more about brute force and meticulous planning. Led by George Rivas, 7 inmates at John B. Connolly Unit executed a chilling multi-phase plan. They planned for months, timing actions down to low-supervision lunch hours. They targeted the maintenance shop, ambushed supervisors, and overpowered guards. 9 civilian supervisors, 4 officers, 3 inmates subdued. They gagged and tied staff, stole clothes, IDs, and raided the armory. Pistols, shotguns, rifles, and over 1,000 rounds. Dressed as maintenance workers, they calmly walked past cameras, loaded the white Ford F-250, and drove right out the front gate. Their escape triggered one of the largest manhunts in Texas history. Methodical, ruthless, terrifyingly effective. Coming in at number 7 is a story so audacious, it feels ripped from a Hollywood blockbuster. But this isn't fiction. It's the real-life saga of a man who made the prison helicopter escape his signature move. Meet Pascal Payet, a French gangster serving a 30-year sentence for a murder committed during an armored car robbery. For Payet, prison walls were merely a temporary inconvenience, and his preferred method of departure was always by air. His most famous escape took place on Bastille Day, 2007. 4 masked accomplices hijacked a helicopter from a nearby resort, forced the terrified pilot to fly to Grass Prison, and executed their plan with military precision. With guards caught completely by surprise, security cameras captured the green helicopter touching down on the roof, its rotors whipping up a storm of dust and disbelief. 2 men leaped out, using power tools to slice through a series of doors. They knew exactly where to find Payet in the isolation ward, grabbing him and hustling him back to the waiting chopper. The entire brazen operation took less than 5 minutes. Before the prison could even sound a proper alarm, they lifted off and vanished into the sky. Payet remained a free man for 2 months before he was finally recaptured in Spain. But here's the truly unbelievable part: this wasn't his first or even second helicopter escape. In 2001 he escaped from Luin's prison via helicopter. Then in 2003, while still a fugitive, he returned to the same prison in another chopper to break out 3 of his former accomplices. For Pascal Payet, the helicopter wasn't just a vehicle, it was a statement, a symbol of his defiance and his legendary status as France's most notorious airborne outlaw. Our number 6 spot goes to an escape so elaborate it's often compared to the Shawshank Redemption. Richard Matt, David Sweat, from Clinton Correctional Facility, remote, brutal, nicknamed Little Siberia. They used power tools, intricate planning, and help from inside. The linchpin was Joyce Mitchell, a prison employee who smuggled in hacksaw blades and drill bits hidden in frozen hamburger meat. They cut through cell walls, crawled through catwalks and steam pipe mazes, leaving a taunting note, "Have a nice day." They emerged from a manhole and triggered a 3-week manhunt involving thousands of officers. The hunt ended with Matt killed and Sweat recaptured, but the audacity of the escape lives on. For our number 5 pick, we go back to 1979 in apartheid-era South Africa. Tim Jenkin, Stephen Lee, Alex Moumbaris. 3 political prisoners, not hardened criminals. Their weapon of choice? Wood. Jenkin studied guards' keys, memorized dimensions, then carved wooden replicas in the workshop. It was trial and error. Broken keys and locks could mean disaster, but months later they had working keys. They unlocked 10 steel doors, dressed in smuggled civilian clothes, broke the final lock with a chisel when a key failed, hailed a taxi, and vanished. It was a victory of ingenuity. Minds over matter. The handcrafted wooden keys remain one of the cleverest escapes ever recorded. At number 4, an escape immortalized in film, The Great Escape from Stalag Luft III, March 1944. A camp designed to be escape-proof. Raised barracks, seismographs, sandy soil. Prisoners dug 3 tunnels, Tom, Dick, and Harry. 30 feet deep, shored up with bedboards, ventilated with milk cans. They hid tons of sand by dispersing it around the camp, ran clandestine workshops, sewed civilian clothes, and forged documents. On March 24, 1944, 76 men crawled through a 336-foot tunnel, though only 3 ultimately reached safety. An act of coordination and sheer will that inspired a movie and legend. The Great Escape remains one of history's most audacious mass breakouts. For our number 2 spot, we turn back to the 1930s gangster era. John Dillinger, public enemy number 1, held at Crown Point Jail. He carved a wooden Colt, colored it with shoe polish and used a razor to add detail. A terrifyingly convincing bluff. On March 3, 1934, he brandished the fake pistol, intimidated guards, locked them up, and walked out the front door. He then stole the sheriff's new Ford V8 and fled, an escape that made him the FBI's most wanted. There's no camera footage, but the photos and headlines turned a carved block of wood into legend. A simple bluff that defeated an entire jail. Classic criminal theater. We've reached the pinnacle of our countdown. Our number 1 spot combines classic prison break tropes with 21st century technology, feeling straight out of a spy movie. And here it is. The number 1 most unbelievable prison escape caught on camera. The setting, HMP Pentonville, a crumbling Victorian-era prison in London. In November 2016, inmates Matthew Baker and James Whitlock decided to exploit its weaknesses. Facing serious charges, they were determined not to stick around. Their method was audacious. They acquired diamond-tipped cutting equipment, smuggled into the prison, authorities believe via a drone, to cut through their 5th-floor cell bars. Over several nights they painstakingly sawed through the aging iron. With the bars severed, they deployed a trick as old as Alcatraz itself, creating dummies from pillows and clothes. This classic deception fooled the guards during nightly checks, buying them precious time to slip out onto a narrow ledge. From there, they abseiled 5 stories down the side of the building on tied sheets. They scaled the perimeter wall and disappeared into the North London night, all captured by exterior cameras, a ghostly silhouette against the sky. The escape wasn't discovered until morning. Investigators found the cut bars, frayed sheets, and a crashed quadcopter nearby, a stunning marriage of old-school trickery and modern tech, cementing its place at number 1. And that is a wrap on the 10 most unbelievable prison escapes ever caught on camera. From wooden keys and dummy heads to helicopter getaways and mile-long tunnels, these stories prove that the human desire for freedom can inspire breathtaking ingenuity. The creativity is simply mind-blowing. Which one blew your mind the most? Let us know in the comments below. Smash that like button and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.